Hey guys, it's DC here, and today we're car gang. Alright, so today I wanted to talk to you about why working at an MSP is awesome and also soul crushing at the same time. It's hard to sort of say that seriously because working at an MSP is tricky, but also a pain in the ass, but also kind of necessary and good for your career. Let me tell you why. So let me just give you a rundown of a typical day in the life of working at an MSP thing. So you wake up, it's 6 a.m. You get to work at 7:30 or 8 a.m. You work until 12, you take a half-hour lunch break, if that. You continue on until 5, maybe 7, maybe 10 p.m. Then you go home, eat, sleep, and repeat it all over again.
Eat, sleep, rave, repeat.
Does it end there? No. You also have to schedule in some outages, usually after hours, unless they have an after-hours team who are doing it, in which case, awesome. Otherwise, that's up to you, mate. Now, let me tell you why working at MSP is awesome. First things first, you get to cover so many different technologies and across a whole vast range of different clients, like little tiny, like one shop, like a photographer type business. You get to manage their IT. You get to go for the medium-sized businesses, like 20-ish employees. Maybe it's like a transport company. You get to look after their stuff. Then you get to also look after the enterprise large businesses, 500 plus employees, thousands of devices across Australia or America or the world or wherever. And they all have different technology needs. Now, working at an MSP as a support technician or whatever it is the position you've got or going for, you get to cover so much different technology there. So like, for example, that photographer doesn't need a Palo Alto or Checkpoint next-gen firewall, or maybe he does, but he's not going to get it because they're super expensive. So you're going to be doing some, fairly basic support, but still enough support for what he needs. But then at the other end of the spectrum, the 500 or 5,000 plus employees over here on the super large business scale, they need some serious infrastructure, and they need it in more than one place usually. Now, I'm not saying that going into this sort of job you're going to be building out the infrastructure for these sorts of places. That's usually what an architect or project manager type role would do. They're going to go in there with the sales guy. The sales guy go, yeah, we can do this, yeah, we can do that. And then hopefully the architect at this point goes, well, yeah, we can sort of build it around this system. I'll come back with a design. And the salesman's just got money dollars in his eyes and he's like, yep, we can do everything. Yes. Then that will trickle down over to a project manager who's going to work out what the project is, how much it's going to cost, how much resource they need to throw at it. And resource is just another fancy word for a person. And yeah, they just sort of work it out from there, and then it eventually goes down. And then at the very bottom, there's the support layer, which is they're there to support the product that's just been implemented or what they've currently got. A very basic example of this is like a Office 365 migration from like an on-prem server to a cloud server. You need to understand how the on-prem server works, the hybrid exchange in between, and then the Office 365/Azure cloud instance as well. You need to know all three of those technologies, not just the one. So that's, I guess, the awesome part of working in MSP. Oh, actually, there is another awesome part, which is that you learn to be really good on the phone talking to people. You get to have that sort of office banter, but over the phone, usually with whoever the client is that you're talking with, which is actually really fun. And you also get to make some friends in the industry, which are your workmates. So that is definitely a plus and definitely worth mentioning. Now, the bits that suck. Usually you have to start early and finish late. Sometimes you have to schedule outages depending on how big the business is, and usually those outages are after hours. Back when I was working for an MSP, it was not uncommon for me to have to jump back on my machine from home at like 2 a.m. or some ridiculous time when everyone was not working, and go through and do like a backup test or do a whole bunch of patching that needed to be done during those times. Another thing that sucks a little bit about MSPs is that often there's this magical word thrown around called overtime. Now, overtime happens all the time, but you don't get paid for it all the time. There's this other term that gets thrown in as well called time in lieu, and it's basically a fucking unicorn. It's like a promise of time that you will get off that is essentially never gonna happen. You will never see time in lieu. But like I said, it's not all bad, there is the good parts of it, there's the bad parts, and just like everything else, some things suck and some things are awesome. You just have to sort of go with the flow and get used to it. I think the pros sort of outweigh the cons of it working at an MSP, and I've been recommending MSPs to people for years as a starting point because, like I said, you cover so much different technology, so many different client sizes, and it's usually thrown at you at such a fast pace. You have to absorb it or get the fuck out. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about working at MSPs. Do you work at an MSP? If you do, let me know in the comments below what your sort of typical day is. Maybe you work for one of the larger ones that, manages mainly government customers. Maybe you're working for one that's in pen testing. Maybe you're working for one that's solely networking. You never know. MSPs are different of all shapes and sizes. They manage businesses of all shapes and sizes, and some of them tailor to very specific needs like red team or pen testing events, and some people just do networking. Usually an MSP covers pretty much everything in IT though. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you all in the next one. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this video. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. In fact, please smash that thumbs up button, and I'll see you all on the next video. Catch you later.